Approval granted. Plot route for approach to landing pad 18.
Once your vessel Hey, what's going on, Excalibur?
Ship released. Please exit the station safely and promptly. Speed restrictions lifted. Safe travels, Commander.
Dropping to thruster velocity. Landing gear deployed. Selecting landing gear.
Drop.
Dropping to thruster velocity.
DeLacy, Juliet, Uniform, Sierra. The Imperial Flight Operations Bureau welcomes you to our territory. We are honored by your visit. Station services have been informed of your arrival. Permission granted. Set down on landing pad 3-5.
Gear down.
Landing gear deployed.
No problem. You're up.
Detachment sequence complete. Please exit the station safely and promptly. Speed restrictions lifted. Thank you, Commander. Have a splendid journey.
Drop.
Dropping to thruster velocity.
Deploy weapons.
Weapons deployed.
Target. 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 Things got busy, may go AFK. No problem. How's things for the faction? The faction in the game, as of right now, doing fine. Nobody's really even working on it. They kind of, as long as there's not a reason for players to do anything to the background sim, then we're okay. Or someone could attack us, but they haven't. We're still holding pretty good. Galaxy map. The way
Galaxy map simulation.
the way the system's been looking, I don't see any. See, we're still in boom and 57.5%, and the closest other minor faction is 13.2. And there was a civil war, but it's still in civil war between these two guys. But no matter who wins, they don't win anything because we own both stations. And I was hoping that Camote resistance, they were in retreat. That's not a local faction. That's from Camote, and it's Federation. They were in retreat, but apparently they pulled out of it, and so they're still in our system. Target. So I should not ever work for any other faction within the system, only us. That depends. For the most part, that answer would be a running correct. Don't work for anybody else, but it depends. Like say for instance, Camote Resistance, which is a Federation faction, is moving up in the ranks, and they're at civil war with someone. In order to keep them down, you may push the faction that they're in a civil war with, potentially, but or say for instance, at this point with only two of us and you just now coming on board, at this point it's probably not a very good idea to try to expand. So expansion occurs when you reach 75% influence in the system you're in. So potentially, depending on what we've all got going on in the game, we may not be able to maintain an expansion, because expansion is very costly. If you do expand, then it cuts your influence in your current system in half. So just depending on what we all have going on and whether we have the time to maintain an expansion or not, we could potentially be fighting against our own influence in the system. But really, I mean, I can't remember the order that I had it worked out in, but basically we want Nevermore Gold Advanced PLC, their alliance and corporate. I would prefer them not in second. I would prefer an independent rather than an allegiance be an alliance, I would prefer Nevermore Solutions in second place, or even Liberty Party of Nevermore in second place, and all the any factions that are pledged to a power or pledged to a major faction towards the bottom. And Kamote Resistance, I prefer them to be all the way at the bottom. And Handgang and Nevermore, being that they're anarchy, I would prefer them second from the bottom. But you see all these other ones are alliance. This Liberty Party of Nevermore is independent. Nevermore Solution is independent. So I would really rather see actually Liberty Party of Nevermore in second, and Nevermore Solutions in third. And then these guys, Revolutionary, Nevermore Resistance, in fourth. If we have, if we're all doing it, you know, we can set it up, get it all lined out exactly how we want. It always depends on your opposition. If you don't have opposition, then one guy can do it. It's just a lot of work. Two guys can do it easier. Three guys can do it even easier than that, you know, so just a matter of what we have time to do. What's up, Nick? What are you doing up so early? And as of right now, I think Nick and myself both are kind of on hold, waiting on our sister faction to be added out in Colonia, which is Nomads of Nevermore, which is still us. But that's going to require attention first at this point. Now, Nevermore, with this amount of people, with only 2 or 3 people, you know, Nevermore will always take the priority. But if it's sitting in the shape that it is right now, then we're okay and it doesn't need priority. But hell, it could be, you know, hell, it might be 2 months. No telling how long it could be before we're added out in Colonia, but hopefully it's before the end of this month when 2.4 releases, but who knows. What would drive us to expand then? 75% influence, and influence goes up by doing things for the faction, whether it be turning in bounties for Dreadful Nomads. That's something that we really need to look at, is if you're turning in bounties in the Nevermore system and it is an alliance bounty, don't turn it in. Only turn in Dreadful Nomads bounties, because there's a multiplier that minor factions that are aligned with a major faction, they have a multiplier on bounties that you turn in, and it's like by 2 or 3 times 2 or 3. So say for instance you have a buttload of bounties and you just click redeem all, and the majority of them, even if it weren't, just say you have a million Alliance bounty and a million Dreadful Nomads bounty, and you turn them both in at the same time in either station, because we own both stations, and we're in the system. So if you turn both of those in, that's equal credits. It's not equal influence. That influence would be 2 or 3 times the amount of influence that we picked up from it, even though the amount was the same. So, and we're not pledged to a major faction. So you got to be careful on turning in bounties, and just turn them in if they are specific Dreadful Nomads bounties. Yeah, and especially no allowance bounties, and especially no Federation bounties, because Mote resistance is there, and that'll boost them. But turning in bounties, running missions, you can run missions in and out of, meaning you can pick up the missions in Nevermore, run them somewhere else, and then look at the mission board on the station that you took them to, and if the turn-in faction is to Dreadful Nomads, then most of the time that's going to help us too, running it, bringing missions back to us. But certain things can hurt us and cause and push us towards different background sim states. Like what is it, Nick? If you bring in like bio waste, that pushes you towards famine, I think. I don't remember. I'd have to look it up. I'm going to outbreak. So if you were in a neighboring system, or a system somewhere around Nevermore, and you just ran a mission out of Nevermore to that other system, and there is a mission at that other system that says bring bio waste back to Nevermore and turn it into Dreadful Nomads, that pushes us towards outbreak, which is not good. No. I can try to find a list. And if we're going to actively be doing it, then we can make our own list. Right now, with the numbers that we've had, we keep up with what's going on in our system, and we've watched things happen in other systems, and there are graphs and charts and stuff out there here and there, but the background sim's always been kind of cryptic, so it's always being studied, and people put out different opinions about it, and really where the rubber meets the road is what we see happen. When you actually do something and see it happen, then that's where you can confirm what it is that other people are saying. It's really odd because, the states are persistent across all the systems that a minor faction is present in. So, and that different state can have an effect on their influence in other systems, depending on what you're doing for them or doing against them. Chaff. Chaff. Bringing in illegal stuff, even though we have a black market. If it's illegal and we're the controlling faction, it's hurting us. It's moving us towards I think lockdown. Maybe it depends on what the material is, or what the commodity is. Chaff. Target. I didn't get a lick in on him, I don't think. Nope. Here, little eagle, let me scan you. Chaff. Some people claim that you get 0.03% influence for every uncontested 0.03% influence for every uncontested boom data delivery mission that you do. And I say 0.03% influence isn't crap, number one. And number two, how could you ever be sure that it's uncontested? So I don't know where they come up with these types of numbers, because you can never be sure that it's uncontested. I'm going to bookmark the Colonia system. What's its name again? Colonia is the name of the system, and they call that whole region out there Colonia. Yeah, it's supposed to be Ravenhold. It doesn't exist yet. On the Frontier forums, we were confirmed as Colonia Expansion Initiative Phase 5 winners, or top 10, which grants you a spot out in the Colonia region in that area. And we've been in contact with them as far as giving them the system name, the station name, and all that stuff, and we're just waiting to be added. No, Ravenhold has not been added yet. But they have that, Frontier have that as our name, the name of our the system that we want, and the name of the station, and the name of our minor faction, Nomads of Nevermore. They already had that. They have the government type, the all that stuff. So we're just waiting to be added. And that's one of the reasons to be trying to recruit is not that we're going to be separate. We will be together. And some people are claiming that these community goals that I'm working on right now, some people, including what's his name, Obsidian Ant, are speculating that this could lead to an easier route, quicker and easier route to Colonia. Not just more stations, but some sort of transportation method or system going out there, other than the Neutron Highway. Or because really, what do you need stations for? If you're traveling 22,000 light years one way, what do you really need stations for? To slow you down? To stop? I mean, all it does is make it more dangerous because there's going to be more traffic out there. And some people are speculating that that's going to be the escape route out of the bubble, away from the Thargoids. A lot of speculation, but at this point we're just kind of waiting. Now, if something all of a sudden happened in Nevermore, and our hold on Nevermore was threatened, then that's one of the reasons I have 2 accounts. But I would immediately stop what I'm doing here and go to Nevermore and start doing whatever it is I need to do to support our faction there. And eventually I would like to expand. I mean, Nick and I both would, that's cool and all, but it's a lot of work. Just for 2 people when we're needed, whether someone's attacking us purposely or not, we don't know, but at times you know, we've been challenged in Nevermore and we have to go, and it's a lot of work for just 2 guys. And if you expand, if you're successful, then your influence in the system that you started in, and all of the systems that you're present in, take a big hit. I believe it's 50%. It's shaved off in order to add you into the other system. So if we were at 75% in Nevermore and expanded, our influence would then become 37 in Nevermore. So not only would you have work to do in the system that you expanded to, you would have work to do in the system you expanded from. And we have to be mindful also of the factions that were in our area when we got added. Our neighbors, there's Dark Echo, there's a few of them, and we don't want to encroach on their systems. And if we did accidentally encroach on their systems and move into it, you know, there has to be some diplomacy. Otherwise, some of these big factions, they'll crush our presence in the game. I mean, not that we would disappear, but I mean, if a big minor faction sent, you know, 5 dedicated pilots our way to disturb us in Nevermore, if it's just us 3, it just depends on who's going to put in more work, their 5 or our 3, but it's definitely going to be harder for us. And just think, if they sent 20, you know, we would have to, each one of us would have to be doing that much more work to even try to keep up. So yeah, we have to be mindful of that also. Yeah, and being that we're going to be so spread out, 22,000 light years apart, and if there is no better way than actually flying out there, even if you're taking the neutron highway, you know, you're not necessarily traveling in the ship that you want to be in when you get out there, you know. So whether you're transferring ships or whatever it is you're doing, it takes time and credits to be able to do that. And it would be nice to have a good handful of guys or girls on both ends of the galaxy. Some of us out there, some of us over here. You know, we could rotate. You know, say everybody take a quarter of a year out in Colonia and handle things out there, and then we swap back and forth, you know, but even though we're going on, Dreadful Nomads is going on 2 years old as far as the founding, we're still in the early stages and need lots and lots of help. I mean, there's all sorts of things people can do, you know, creative writing, all sorts of things. I've got to get up, so I'm gonna go turn in real quick. Turn in my little bounties that I got. Retract weapons.
Retracting hardpoints.
Jump in.
Initiating jump sequence.
What's going on, Black Label? Welcome to the stream. No problem. Geo, I finally got my got a Python on my second account, and I've bought everything for it too. I have it stored. Right now I have it fitted for trade with no shields, but I have all the bigger modules and military armor and all that for it also stored here at this system. I've taken it out once. It's just a pain to change all the modules in and out every time I switch from the trade CG to the bounty hunting CG. Did you see about the trade run to make millions? Obsidian Ant just made a video? No, I didn't see that. I'm subscribed to them, so I should have a notification of it. I haven't watched it yet. I've just been doing the trade CG, running Palladium back and forth, or bringing in Palladium. Drop.
Dropping to thruster velocity.
And I think I've been making like 44 or 4,600 a ton on it. Hell, right now there's trade routes on EDDB making like 5,600 a ton on medium landing pads. Oh shit.
Attention, please clear this area immediately or you will be removed using lethal force.
Yeah.
Clearance denied. Permission granted. Set course for landing pad 28.
I think I'm making, it's one jump out of here, and then 2 jumps back because I'm loaded down. And I'm in my Python, no shields, is 292 tons. Gear down.
Landing gear deployed.
And come to think of it, I might be able to make it in 1 jump back if I changed fuel tanks. But 2 jumps back, I'm making like 1.3, 1.4 million per run.
Docking procedure complete. Initiate
Which was
ship lockdown.
back on my first account when I was first started trading in a Python. That was top dollar. You know, 4,000, 4,500. That was top dollar in a on a medium pad. And now I looked at EDDB.io, and there's a whole page of 5,000 to 5,500 per ton. That ain't worth a crap. 800,000. I could have stayed out longer. It's just I need to get up here for a few minutes. Let me see if I'm in the top. Wrong button. If I'm in the top 25 or where I'm at now. This is the trading one, and I'm in the top 25% right now. And I'm in the top 25 of the bounty hunting one too. I should be able to get in the top 10 of both of them. Yeah, I remember when 2K was good on a large landing pad, but medium, you know, you could be trading the same stuff in the same area and go from, you know, 2,200 a ton to 38 to 4,200 a ton on a medium pad. And that's why the Python was the gateway to all the expensive stuff. Remember when you only made like 1,200 credits for doing missions? I spent like my first 2 or 3 weeks of the game making 1,200, 1,000, 800, 1,000, or 1,200 credits per mission. That's my first 2 or 3 weeks of the game. I'll be back in a few minutes. All right. I may. What I want to do. I forgot where I was at. I'm top 25 of that one right now, and it just passed tier 6. Top 25 of that one, and it's about to reach tier 5. I think what I'm gonna do is go to my main account and do a little bit of scanning, exploring. I'm about 2,000 light years to the left of Colonia. And I have all my data from heading out to Colonia. Plus, I've been bouncing around in the area that I'm at, scanning stuff. I flew out to a nebula that I saw on the map, and it's mostly, if not all, explored already. If I was in the bubble in my main account, then I would probably be working on more engineering stuff. And at some point, I want to max out my ranks in Federation and Empire. I stopped at the rank needed for the cutter and the rank needed for the Corvette. And I wish I could get into CQC or arena games pretty fast, because if I could get into those fast and play one right after the other, I'd probably play more of that. That's the nebula that I'm in, and I'm way out here. And I think, well, I might not be 2,000 light years from Colonia. Let's see. I'm 1,100 light years from Colonia. Maybe I'll fly back over there. I've got a couple ships parked over here. What did I bring out here? I think I bought a Python out here. Yeah, I bought a Python out here, and I transferred my FDL out here. Everything else is back in the bubble. So A little too far. That's a little too far. Jump in.
Initiating jump sequence.
Ah. There's an Earth-like, a water world, 2 water worlds and an Earth-like already explored or already discovered. You think that last one was the water world? That one? That one's not. That's a Earth-like. That's a water. That's a water. And that's not. That kind of looks like one, but I can hear it. It's not. Do you take high-risk screenshots at all? No. I've taken very few screenshots because most of the time when I see something cool, or if something's going on that I want to preserve, I either record it at 1080p, 60 frames, or I stream it at 720p, and sometimes I do 60 frames a second. It's a little harder streaming on my little more taxing on my system, trying to stream at high quality, not just the resolution but the encoding. But no, I don't take a lot of screenshots. What about you? Oh, is that when we both jumped to Beagle Point at the same time? Yeah, I've got that one of us, and I also got that meeting that we had. What were we doing when we met? When we crossed each other's paths out in the black? I can't remember what we were doing. Oh, none of this other stuff is discovered. Let me hit this landable here. Yeah, so that if that's the case, then it was back in December of last year. I think I was streaming. Yeah, I was streaming, wasn't I? And you made a video, a recorded video, and I streamed it. And I think I have it saved and transferred to YouTube. I think. I'm pretty sure I have it saved on Twitch as a past broadcast. Or maybe a highlight where it only shows the last couple minutes. That was a long trip. Let's see what this planet is about. What do you think? Icy? Yeah, icy. I don't see anything special. I can see that purple nebula in the distance there is Colonia. You know what I still need to set up is my the new 3D camera. Well, it's not new anymore, but I can't even work mine because nothing's set up. It's a big system, big spread out system. Bunny hugger. They don't have that gas giant or these landables. Like he came down here and got this water world though. I'll get the gas giant. Get some fuel first. All right. I might as well get the ones orbiting out here too. Jump in.
Initiating jump sequence.
Target. Target. I'm not going out of my way to get a brown dwarf. Target. Target. Uh-oh, my YouTube stopped playing. There it goes. All of those are pretty close. See if I can scan this one from here. Maybe. Nope. So we'll get the close ones. Target. Welcome back. Target. Jump in.
Initiating jump sequence.
Might as well get some of these. Are pretty close. Oh, come on. Have they said yet? The only thing I heard Frontier say was third quarter. Third quarter would put it no later than September. October is fourth quarter. Not that they stick to what they say anyway, but that's what they said. The last I heard, that feed bot that I put on Discord posted it in, what was it, a Galnet or something? It's in Elite News. No, I think I posted it. Let's see. Yeah, the return response to release date speculation. Have you seen that? They said, we've been noticing a lot of conversation and speculation regarding when 2.4 will be released. In the stream next week on Thursday, 14th of September, we'll be bringing on our developers for a lore live stream where we'll discuss some of the story and preparation for 2.4 so that you're ready when the update comes. We'll also be giving more information about the launch of 2.4, the return, and a date when you can expect to be exploring the content for yourself. So Thursday, September 14th, they're announcing it live on stream. So I expect it usually comes out on Tuesdays. I don't know if it'll be the following Tuesday after that Thursday or the one after that, but I think it'll be shortly after September 14th. Either the Tuesday after that or the Tuesday after that. Still guessing, but we'll know for sure September 14th. Or, let's see. Where's my calendar? There it is. September 14th. The Tuesday after that's the 19th. And the Tuesday after that's the 26th. So, if they stick to third quarter, then I'm guessing 19th or 26th. If October 3rd, that's the following Thursday, and technically that's the fourth quarter, but it's still pretty close. So if I had to bet, I would bet somewhere between the 19th and the 3rd, or 19th, 26th, or 3rd. And if I had to be more specific, 19th or 26th. And if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick the 26th. But that's still just all guessing. I wonder if they even got to have to do a client update in order for systems to be added and factions and shit to be added. What do you think? Is this neutron discovered? I bet it is. How about that? Go ahead and get this host system. Alright, I'm going to finish scanning this. That'll do it for this system. Nothing really special here, but except for a neutron. I'm sitting here munching on pork rinds that I don't need to be eating, and I'm hungry, so I'll stop eating these and get up and eat something that's not quite as bad as pork rinds. But I'm going to stop the stream because I'm going to be away for a while. I appreciate you guys hanging out. See you next time.